Speaking about my dad, I am a little angry because my dad and my mom, they misguided me a little bit. They misguided me. I just became a dad during the pandemic. That deserves a round of applause. Yeah, and they misguided me because they told me parenthood is beautiful. It is the best thing that can happen to you. It is easy. It'll come natural to you. And you know what? It is beautiful, but it's really hard. My parents were like, don't worry. When your son is like 1 or 2 years old, he's gonna start talking to you and you're gonna understand everything. And I believe them, but it's all a lie. It's all a lie. I wish I was one of those parents where the son is like, and I'm like, oh, you want watermelon? But it doesn't happen like that. It's a lie. I try to pretend in front of other parents. I try because my parents told me this is gonna be easy, you understand? In front of other parents, I try to pretend like I get it, you know? But my son, Liam, he's gonna turn 2 in January. Yes, okay, yes, Liam in the house, very famous Liam. Everything I ask Liam, I'm like, bebé, patea la pelota, kick the ball, and score. We want a little net, it's in our living room. Patea y gol. And I'm like, no, mi amor, patea la pelota. And I'm like, ay, it's okay. But the worst is when you go to these little parties, like he's at daycare, and my parents said, oh, daycare is the best. Because you're gonna meet other parents. And they are super supportive. But it's all a lie, they misguided me. I went to my first 2-year-old birthday party the other day, and there was a beautiful white lady, a white parent, and her name was Karen. And she said, did you know, we were all the parents in a circle looking at the kids, and she's like, did you know that the International Pediatric Association, and I'm like, oh, here we go, says that toddlers, I'm like, oh, she's using the word toddlers. The International Pediatric Association says that toddlers by the age of 22 months need to be able to use 50 words in sentences fluently. My baby Kyle, oh, Kyle. My baby Kyle already says 73 words in sentences. How about Liam? And I look at Liam in the corner and he's like, and I'm like, it's Spanish. Oh my God. It's complicated. And she's like, oh really, full sentences, eh? And I'm like, yes. Watch this. Liam, lo que pasa es que tenemos que ir a la farra con mi mamá y mi papá y tu papá y mis tíos y toda She's like, oh wow. I'm like, yeah, the doctor says he's gifted. Oh my God, it is hard. My parents lied to me. It is not easy. And my parents also said, specifically my mom, she's like, in Spanish they say, los bebés traen el pan con ellos. The babies bring the bread with them when they're born. You're gonna have more money. And I'm like, this daycare is $2,000. What's going on? The kid better come out like an astronaut by the time he's 4. I'm paying $2,000 a month. My mom is like, Liam is gonna come with the bread under the arm. And you know what? It's gonna improve. You're gonna have more money and more sex. My wife knows the sex is going down when you have a kid. I didn't want, but it happens, and it's the worst because you can't control it. And you know what happens is, my mom, when she said that, the worst part is she said it in a baby voice. She's like, Liam va a traer el pan de ba-" And I'm like, why do we use this baby voice when there are babies around? To be honest, I thought that this was a total loser move. And now I'm talking like a baby all day. And the worst part is when I talk to my wife at home, we talk to each other in a baby. It is really weird. It is very weird. The other night we were changing diapers. This is a true story. We were changing diapers, and I'm like, "Baby, you are very calm tonight." And my wife next to me, she's like, "Yes, Daddy, because I already ate." And I'm like, "What's going on? What is going on?" It's like, whenever we change diapers, it's like we communicate indirectly with a baby voice. So I'm like, well, let's see what happens. Let's continue. And I'm like, "Baby, are you going to bed early tonight?" My wife is like, "Depends, Daddy." And I'm like, "Depends on what?" "Depends if you're gonna use this time to give me a baby brother, Daddy." I'm like, "There's no money for a baby brother right now." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Daycare is $2,000, baby." And she's like, "Well, if Daddy wouldn't have quit his banker job to do jokes for a living, we could have sex in this household." Oh my God! I'm like, that escalated. You want to talk about this outside? It is weird. It's like a Ouija board when it's like very. Are you there? It is weird. I don't know. My dad said, you know what the best part about my dad said, you know what? Communicate. Another misguidance. Lies. All lies. I think he doesn't want us to get divorced. All lies. He's like, you know what? The secret to marriage. He always says it in Spanish. El secreto al matrimonio es ceder, ceder y ceder. The secret, yes. The secret to marriage is you let go, you let go, you let go. No arguments, just give in. Communication is key. When you have a baby, my dad said, "Hijo, tienes que hablar más. You have to talk more. You have to communicate more, and that's the key." Another lie, because I don't have to communicate with my wife. She knows everything. You know what? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the sixth sense exists. Does anybody believe that the feminine sixth sense exists? Round of applause. Well, I do now, but I didn't before we moved in. I realized that it does exist because when women fall asleep, the sixth sense wakes up. You know what? My wife always says, she's Venezuelan, I don't like it when you go into the bed with your laptop. Venezuelans, two consonants in the middle of the word, they can't say it. It's Control-Alt-Delete, just reset. They cannot say it. Mi amor, I don't like it when you go into the bed with your laptop because I cannot fall asleep when you have the laptop because the light of the laptop wakes me up. And I'm like, how does the light from the laptop wake you up if the light doesn't have a sound? Well, because I perceive it, I can feel it. And I don't care, so I go into my bed 11:30 at night with my laptop. She's asleep, looking that way. I come in slowly and I open the laptop and I go, slowly, and as I go, she goes, How does she know? My dad lied. She doesn't. She just feels it. We don't need to communicate. She knows everything. So I go, Get out of the room, por favor. So I go out. It is my responsibility to put all the dishes in the dishwasher. And again, I'm like, well, I'm gonna be silent because it's 11:30 at night. So I go in, plates, glasses, Tupperwares, and suddenly she's like, don't put the Tupperware in the dishwasher because they melt! And I'm like, how does she know? I walk into the room, I open the door, she's like, what? My parents lied! They lied! Misguidance! Misguidance.